Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm joined by special guest, future Nebraska quarterback Trae Taylor. I talked to him about Dana Holgorsen, Matt Rhule, and Nebraska football's big-time potential future. Let's light this candle. Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Checking the polls of Husker Nation, brought to you by DPS Concrete Construction. Check them out at dpsconstruction.net. Also, the inaugural Carriker Chronicles football camp featuring the Nebraska football players that are currently up on your screen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors for that camp, Sagewell Orthopedics and Ryan Lawn and Tree. You can learn more and how to register for the camp at carrikerchronicles.com. I do want to mention, all right, this is the camp that's for the kids. We'll be donating a portion of the proceeds to local at-risk youth here in Nebraska and abroad to help build schools for kids that just simply do not have them right now. Our mission is to help make an impact in kids' lives. All right, if you're excited to see what Nebraska's offense looks like this fall under Dana Holgorsen and year 2 under Dylan Raiola, smash that like button. Now I'm going to bring on Nebraska's 2027 quarterback commit, Mr. Trae Taylor. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Dude, life is glorious. I appreciate you taking the time. Now, you're currently in Lincoln right now. You're participating and competing this week, and Nebraska football is hosting a first-of-its-kind national 7-on-7 tournament, the Battle at the Boneyard, in the Boneyard, as it is known, featuring 16 teams from across the country. 40 to 50 4- and 5-star players are expected to be here. All right, talk to me about Rhule, his staff, and being ahead of the curve with things like this.
I mean, it's kind of everything you want in a winning program, right? You want to get ahead. You always want to be prepared. There's going to be big-time kids here. I hope they get to realize what Nebraska has to offer. I've always kind of said this, like, getting kids to Nebraska is always the hardest part. Getting kids to love Nebraska once they're here is the easy part. So for them getting a chance to get here and, see what it's like, see what Nebraska has to offer, it's really amazing. We just have to take advantage of this opportunity. And I think Coach Rhule is the person that can really do it, and his staff.
Dude, preach amen and hallelujah. I'll tell people, I phrase it a little differently than you do, but I say not a lot of people move to Nebraska, but even less people move away, because once they're here, they freaking love it. So I love the way you put it. All right, man, talk to me about what your experience has been like in Lincoln so far this trip. Plus, you've taken other multiple trips in the past. What's your experience specifically been like in Lincoln?
I mean, it's been amazing. Obviously not my first time here, but every time I come back, it seems to get better. I seem to learn more. I seem to interact with more people and get closer with the team and the coaches. So, it's been great. And I can't wait for the next day. Today's the 3rd. I got 5 more days here. I can't wait to have fun in each and every single one of them.
Man, talk to me about playing for a guy like Dana Holgorsen, a guy who's obviously been a head coach for a long time, highly successful offensive coordinator, very successful offensive mind. Talk to me about coming in a year or two and learning and playing for an offensive coordinator like Dana Holgorsen.
I mean, it's going to be amazing. Obviously, Coach has had some very big-time players, and he knows how to use them and put them in great situations to succeed and create explosive offenses. I mean, one that nobody can deny is West Virginia. Mm-hmm. So, and I think towards the end of the year last year, you really started to see that when he took over as OC. So you got to see the explosive plays, but Jacory. So seeing that happen and seeing him really take over the offense is really truly amazing. And Coach Thomas being able to teach it to me as fast as I've been able to learn it. I mean, I feel like I've really got ahead of the curve.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at how Dylan started last year. His first 6 games, he completed over 70% of his passes. Then there was a little bit of a dip there, but then when Dana took over for the last 3 to 4 games, he was over 70% completion percentage once again. So obviously Dana Holgorsen's going to have a positive impact. When you talk to Dana, and he's talking to you about yourself, how does he see you? How does he see your skill set, from his eyes as he's looking to you when he's talking to you about yourself?
Shoot, my job is to take over where Dylan leaves, and really just learn from him. That's what I'm doing right now, learning from him, seeing how he takes control of the offense or the team and be a leader and, take over where he ends. And to be honest, try my best to surpass him. I mean, your goal is always to try and be better than the person in front of you. And that's just the way life is, to be honest. So for Dylan to be able to teaching me and helping me right now is huge. And, really, I think he's going to do huge things while he's here. I think that, honestly, Nebraska football is in great hands. And I feel like there's a lot more positive coming than people really imagine or can see.
So you talk about a lot more positive things coming beyond even what people can see. What makes you feel that way and so confident that way? Because obviously we love to hear that, but what makes you feel that way?
I mean, I'm around it to see what's coming in the near future. I've been who they're getting on recruits, and Dylan is progressing, and how much everything is just really coming together. And like people say, I mean, Coach Rhule, it's his third year, and this is really his team, and all the kids he wants here. So you just see.
It's exciting to hear about the potential big-time future that Nebraska football does have. Now, I'm curious, who are some of the other, whether it's been in the past or this week that you're looking forward to chatting with, who are some of the other major recruits nationally you've been chatting with about Nebraska? Like, I know it was one example, one of the top linebackers in the country, Ellis and McGaskin, you guys have been chatting. But who are some of the other guys you've been chatting with about Nebraska, and who are some of the guys you'll see this week in Lincoln?
So I'm expecting to see Ahmad Hudson. Larry Miles is here right now. I've actually been with him majority of the day, peer recruiting. Who else? Obviously, Tavius Ellis, going after him. Zion Legree from Pensacola, Florida. We love him. Aiden Smalls from North Carolina. We love him. Very explosive kid. Running backs in my grade. I mean, Noah Roberts, really want him. Really want Isaiah Rogers. So, handful of kids. Cameron Ragler, Mason Hamlin, Kennedy, all O-linemen that I'd love to have. And even on the defensive side, I've talked to Caden Henderson, I believe it is. Talked to him about trying to get up to Nebraska and taking a visit. Sean Thompson from St. Thomas Aquinas, receiver. So, just a lot of kids that really, you're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I'm going after them all.
I love that mindset. And I got a follow-up question with Trae about how some of these kids are responding to his peer recruiting. But before I ask him that, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, DPS Concrete Construction. As I've mentioned before, and I'll continue to talk about again in the future, they do a phenomenal job when it comes to concrete work, retaining wall work, and the like. Nobody does it better. Check them out at dpsconstruction.net. If this is your line of work, dpsconstruction.net. Ask for Jason Armstrong. He's a phenomenal boss. Also, I want to give a shout out to Husker Auto Group. They're offering significant discounts on all 2025 light-duty Sierras, on all heavy-duty Sierras, 3/4 tons, 1 tons, cab, work trucks, the like. Up to $10,000 off MSRP on select in-stock models. Husker GMC will pay you top dollar for your trade-in. Over 100 GMC trucks available. Shop online 24/7 at HuskerGMC.com. All right, Trae, when you talk to these guys, because you just listed some of the top recruits in the entire country, and you're talking to them about Nebraska, what are some of their responses? I'm genuinely curious how they respond when you're interacting with them.
I mean, I keep it as positive as possible, right? And it's not always about Nebraska. Sometimes just me checking in, but a lot of the times you get a positive response, and I've thought about them, but I really just never, I feel like a lot of them just really never gave them a real chance yet. And that's what my job is to get them, like I said, get them here and let them fall in love with it by themselves.
For sure. When you've got the fans, when you've got the following, when you've got the facilities, and then let's be honest, the social skills and the genuine caring from this coaching staff, it's going to make an impact. You just got to get them here. All right. Mike Eckler has talked about, since he got here, this is one of the best team cultures he's ever seen in a program. You've been around this program a decent amount. Obviously, you're going to spend a lot of time here in the future. Talk to me about the culture of this team, because some people almost don't want to hear the word culture anymore. They've almost been worn out by it. But I do believe this team now has a strong culture. What sticks out to you about this team's current culture under Matt Rhule?
I mean, everybody's a family. iron sharpens iron here, right? Everybody's held accountable, and that's really all I can say about it. If you don't want a brotherhood and someone that's always gonna have your back, someone that's always going to fight for you on and off the field, then I wouldn't come here. This is that's what this is. You're supposed to have a brother with you. It's just a different type of feeling. You're gonna always have someone there that you can always lean on if you need it.
So let's talk about, when you look at the quarterback room, when you look at Dylan and you look at Jalen Gromstad, TJ Lateef, Marco Stavia, when you've been around those guys, what are those guys like? Because sometimes within a room, there can be a brotherhood, there's an inherent competition because you're battling for the same spot. So when you're around some of the other quarterbacks, what do they like to be around?
I said it once, I'll say it again. It's a brotherhood. If you don't want that, if you want to be toxic, if you want to talk behind people's back, don't come here. Because that's not what this school is about, right? And that's not the rule and structure Coach Rhule has put into order. So I would say, that kind of answers your own question. Hey, there's a different type of togetherness that everybody has. It's just different.
So you still got a couple years left in high school. You're going into your junior season this fall. What are some of the things, because you've got a lot of time to improve and develop and grow and whatnot during your last couple years in high school, what are some of the things that you're working on and focusing on the most your last 2 years of high school as you get ready to enter college in a couple of years?
Winning, obviously, becoming a better leader, and really just becoming, the most polished kid I can be before I enter college, because it's a different game, right? So just really be preparing myself the most for college.
All right, man. This is a tough question to ask sometimes, but I know it's on people's mind, and I know you have stated you are firmly committed to Nebraska, which is part of the reason I'm comfortable asking it, okay? So I'm sure other college coaches are still calling and still texting and still recruiting. What do you tell them? Because you've made it clear you're firmly committed to Nebraska. So what do you tell them about your strong, firm commitment to Nebraska?
I tell them straight up, hey, I'm not taking any visits. I'm only going to Nebraska. If you guys would like to still stay in contact and everything, I'm open to that, because that, obviously, the football world is a connections game. Even once I'm done playing at Nebraska, something could happen where, the coach that was recruiting me could have some position somewhere else where I could go coach or something like that. It's always a connections game in this world. But I've made it clear I'm not going to any more visits anywhere. I will be at Nebraska. Nebraska is always my first choice. I will not go anywhere else. But if you would like to stay in contact with me, that is perfectly fine. Just I'm obviously not going to talk to somebody over and over and over again every single day.
The last question I got for you. This can be football related. This can be non-football. This can be anything. Danny Woodhead told me he was hit by a car as a kid. It doesn't have to be that extreme. Roy Halou told me that Bo Pelini threw hot coffee in the middle of a team meeting. It could be anything related. But is there something about maybe about yourself that people don't know yet, okay, people aren't familiar with yet? Or is there maybe a funny behind-the-scenes story that comes to mind that you wouldn't mind sharing with the fine folks at home?
Yeah, one thing about me, I feel like everybody should know, very approachable. I love when people come up and talk to me and just having a good time and everything. I love when people stop, say what's up, just having a good time. I don't want people to think, they look at me, be nervous or talk to me or anything like that. I love when people come up to me and talk to me.
So I love that. Okay, and I didn't know what you were going to say. I'm going to take this opportunity to say the same thing. When I'm walking around, if I'm coaching my kids or I'm at the store, I can see people's eyes get wide and they look at me. Hey, if you see me, folks, just like Trae, come up and say hi. I'm a big dude, but trust me, I don't bite that often. Okay, so much like Trae, if you see him, come up and say hi. You see me, come up and say hi as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to our fan questions of the week right now. They are brought to you by Husker Auto Group. Check them out at huskergmc.com. Also, Carriker Chronicles.com. Get all your Husker sports coverage there. Learn more about the Carriker Chronicles football camp. Here are my 3 questions for you fine folks at home. Number 1, what excites you the most, all right, about Trae as a future Husker quarterback? Number 2, what are you looking forward to the most when it comes to Nebraska football? All right, the future of Nebraska football, and what would be a successful season in your mind this fall for the Huskers? Hey, Trae, good luck this week, and thanks for taking the time to join me.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Until next time, go Big Red Noise. Remember, to throw the ball.